In this episode, we do some early season sailing, show you our homemade bimini, Jeff tries to hook up a 12-volt adapter and fails, we have a problem with our tack ring on our jib, and we use our homemade tiller autopilot.
Hey there, crew. Thanks for tuning in. The first thing we're going to show you is our bimini. This is our homemade bimini. It is made from a 4 by 10 foot white tarp, paracord, 2 sail ties. We use our main halyard and 2 flag clips. Here you can see the paracord connected to the stanchion lines. The main halyard holds up the middle, 2 flag clips onto the shrouds, 2 sail ties onto the stern rail. We decided to go this route instead of a bimini kit because the kits go under the boom and it's only 48 inches of clearance. Folded forward or aft when not in use are a problem.
We'll marry our fortunes together. I've got some real estate here in my bag, so we bought a pack of cigarettes, and Mrs. Wagner pies, and walked off to look for America. Kathy, I said as we boarded a Greyhound in Pittsburgh, Michigan seems like a dream to me now.
If you own a Catalina 22, or a similar sized boat, it probably holds true that the wiring in the fuse panel for my accessory switch wasn't a large enough wire to pull enough juice to power the cooler. So the 12-volt switch, or 12-volt cigarette lighter adapter that I was trying to connect to the accessory switch on my fuse panel, which I knew was open, did not work. So what I'm going to have to do is directly wire this to the battery with an inline fuse in that to protect it. So I knew that was an option to begin with, but I thought that it would be nice if it was just on the fuse panel and I would just be able to flip it on, plug in the cooler, power it up. But it was a mistake on my part to not think about the gauge of the wire that runs through the boat, which most of it's 12 and it's pretty thin. So to carry, I mean, the gauge that's on the 12 volt, now that all this has happened, is pretty obvious. I mean, this is 10 gauge, so this is a pretty good indication of the gauge of wire it needs to pull the power. So also in the process of having the fuse panel taken apart, the boat is 31 years old and we've refitted a lot of it. The fuse panel, I'm under the opinion that if it's serviceable, then I want to keep using it and not spend the money to rewire the fuse panel if I don't need to. So the main power switch on the fuse panel, the toggle switch, broke. So I had to drive to West Marine, get the parts, come back, and things are different now than they were 30 years ago. So we have a better switch, which I just installed, and I needed to use ring terminals instead of the clip-ins, and not a huge deal. A good look at the new toggle switch. So it's much heavier. If you can see the switches on the panel themselves, they're pretty small. They're plastic. Toggle switches themselves are all plastic, so the way that it's made now is better. So Unless we have an issue with more of the toggle switches, I'm still going to refrain from rewiring the whole fuse panel. The wiring in the boat and everything is really good. I don't know if you should be able to tell in the video. Here's just a quick shot of the tools that I needed. Vice grips, wire crimpers, a meter, and then the panel is back in with the switch. What you doing, Meredith?
Making coffee. Toast.
How do we make breakfast?
Well, we have a 1-burner Pullman camping stove and propane, and a tea kettle, and a frying pan for toast.
Nice.
And
Thanks.
pour over coffee.
Extra nice.
Yeah.
We're gonna sail and have Bloody Marys, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You know it.
Mi amor me dice que debo hacer muchas preguntas sin responder. La vida nos pone pruebas, yo solo sé. Todo es producto de una ambición que nunca se saciará. Y si las cosas van mal, no pierdas nunca tu fe. Después de la tormenta viene la calma, tú ves. Detrás de esa oscuridad siempre hay una claridad. Esa luz.
So this is the rigged tiller autopilot with the shock cord. And how it works is you tie it off with a bowline and then wrap it around the tiller nice and tight, and then use your cleat on the stern to tie off the other end. And right now we're on a reach with just the jib, and so as the boat naturally starts to head up and round up for safety, the way that Paul is designed to do, you just make little adjustments by working the shock cord, little tension, so it turns the boat back on the heading that you want to travel. So it's just as touchy as the tiller itself, so you only have to work it a little bit and it straightens the boat back out. It's also, when you first set it up, it takes some time to get the sail trimmed just right too. If there's too much pressure on the sail itself, it will also overpower the rudder and then also head up into the wind as well. So it's good so far. I've done this twice, so it's good for I would say on a Catalina 22 up to about 10 to 12 knots of wind, which is probably what we're in right now tonight. After that, it gets really overpowered. You can't rely on it, but for the most part, get yourself something to drink, go to the bathroom, do little things around the boat without having to constantly hold on to the tiller. Skipper's texting. Huh? What are you texting about?
Texted Mom. I've got everything under control.
I see that. Man, this is a fun spot right here. It's a fun seat. There, who's skipper in the boat? Oh, wow. That's a disaster. Are you serious? Dude. Alright. Round 2. There, who's skipper in the boat?
Daisy is skipper in the boat.
No, she went to bed.
Oh, the autopilot.
I know. So this is another view of the tiller autopilot. It's shock cord. It's pretty light today for sure. I don't know. We didn't take a wind mate reading, but it's pretty nice.
Yep.
Sitting up here having a Bloody Mary. So right now it'll round up basically. Way right now, and we've had this happen 2 times where the ring on our jib gets snagged on a shroud and gets pulled open. It's pretty, I don't know, it's old, I guess. I don't know how this keeps happening, but it's a really good reason to have your sheets separated. A lot of these Catalina 22s, you see them looped like day sailors, and what happened to us is actually we lost one of the sheets. So had it been looped, we would have lost it all together, but because one was still connected, we were all right. So I'm just fixing it on deck. Okay, so this is a good reason to carry tools on your boat. I had to use channel locks full sized, and I bent the ring back. I'm not going to just tape it, but it's bent back, and then I'm going to tape it to make sure, because for some reason that little bit is enough to catch it. So maybe someone can hit us up in the comments, let us know if they've had that issue before. It's the first for us in our 2nd year sailing it, so happened twice in like 3 weeks. Okay, so this happened today. We had it stretch out twice on a shroud, and then originally when we got the boat, this was looped like a day sailor on this ring, and so I separated the sheet and tied bowlines to separate them, which you should do, but then I also didn't really question the ring. And today we were beaten upwind, and I don't know, we were going like 5.5 knots or so, and literally this thing just snapped and popped loose, and both sheet ends were gone. I mean, we didn't lose them, they're right there, but was pretty funny. So I'm actually just going to tie new bowlines around the jib itself and eliminating the ring. So
got lost on the highway, but don't ask me where I've been or what I've come save me.